All right, 8th graders, this is to help you with question 5 on CR 12. It says express the quotient of 41,700,000 and 3,000 in scientific notation. Lots of ways to go about this. A lot of my students would divide them out in standard form and then rewrite them in scientific notation. I'm just going to go for it and write them in scientific notation right from the beginning. Quotient. Mrs. Gandro says use that little dot above the I to remind yourself quotient means division. So we're going to take 41,700,000 and divide it by 3,000. I'm going to write them both in scientific notation to start. So you know for scientific notation, you have two factors, and your first factor has to be greater than or equal to 1. But less than 10. Then you'll have times, and then your second factor has to be a power of 10. So that has to be a power of 10. So first I'm going to look here and say, are there some I can eliminate? Well, I could eliminate this one because that number is not greater than or equal to 1 but less than 10. That's less than 1. So C doesn't have a shot if they want it in scientific notation. And D doesn't have a shot if they want it in scientific notation because 13.9 is greater than 10. So that just helps me know, okay, one of these two is the correct answer. So I'm going to write this first number in scientific notation. I'm going to move it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 places. 4.17 times 10 to the 7th. I know that that's a positive exponent because this is a really big original number. Divide it by, if I move this decimal point over 1, 2, 3 places, 3 point, you could do 3.0 if you wanted, or just 3 point times 10 to the third power. 3 times 10 to the third, 3 times 1,000 gets us back to our 3,000. You don't even really need this decimal point here if you don't feel like writing it in. All right, now I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to get real crazy on you. 4.17 divided by 3, I don't even have to work out because I know it's 1.39. I can show that long division off to the side. Oh, good. I can show that long division off to the side, but I know it's got to be 1.39. Then I look at my exponents here. When I'm dividing, same base. In this case, my base is a 10. We're going to keep the base and subtract those exponents. So I'm going to keep my base and subtract my exponents. So I'm going to keep my base of 10. Then I'm going to do 7 minus 3. So it's 1.39 times, what did I write? Oh gosh, I am so sorry. Times 10 to the 4th. I wrote the division sign there accidentally because I knew the operation here was division, but my answer will be in scientific notation. 4.13 divided by 3 is 1.39. 10 to the 7th divided by 10 to the 3rd becomes 10 to the 4th, but I have to actually multiply those two factors together. Wow, it's so interesting to me sometimes when I make mistakes like that. Then I realize, wow, there's so many layers to math that attention to detail is so important, and that's not exactly a strength of mine. So the answer is 1.39 times 10 to the 4th. Maybe so you don't get confused there, you could have written it like this. 4.17 times 10 to the 7th divided by 3 times 10 to the 3rd. Then you could see that you're going to divide those first factors and get 1.39. Keep your time sign, and then keep your base of 10. Subtract 7 minus 3 is 4. Maybe rewriting it in that form might be helpful to people. Whew, I'm not sure. And for those of you who just feel like watching the video all the way to the end, why don't I go ahead and do the long division? So I'm going to take 4.17 and divide that by 3. 3 goes into 4 once. 1 times 3 is 3. Subtract off 1. Make sure you drag that decimal point right up. We got to drag down that 1. 3 goes into 11 3 times. 3 times 3 is 9. 2. Drag down that 7. 3 goes into 27 9 times. All right. There's not anything more I could possibly do with this problem. I hope that helped.